when you think about what we're dealing with, what was the greatest transportation system in the world paid for by our parents and grandparents, that my generation, and I'm a tail-end baby boomer, basically squandered. We squandered our inheritance. We failed to invest and reinvest in the system at the levels and at a pace that was necessary. And it's going to place a burden on our kids and grandkids that will be perhaps in many instances insurmountable.
How can we convince people, get to them, connect to them, that they need to grab onto this issue, that it's important to them, more important than they may realize, of getting their stuff every day and what they need?
You would be surprised what the American people will support if you will paint them a picture of what it's going to look like if they do nothing and what it could look like if they do something.
I think we have to make the case at the local level, educate, outreach, tell the story of transportation and what it means to people in their daily lives.
I don't think that the general public has connected all of the dots. I think they take the trucking industry for granted. I think they take highway infrastructure for granted, and it's become an entitlement for the general population.
But I think in some ways the public says, okay, we see it's a problem, we want you to solve it. And I think part of the problem in solving it is the stakeholders are not coming together with a solution. I think that if we could get all the stakeholders together to come up with, say, okay, we think, should be fuel tax, should be part this, part that, I think that gives the politicians the political permission to go forward.
Do you think the average American realizes that the country that they're so proud of ranks 28th in the world in infrastructure spending? Behind Estonia, Spain? Give me a break. That pisses me off. I'll be honest with you, that really upsets me. And it plays out in lives being lost because of the inaction and inability of political leaders to find their backbone.
Highway deaths are going up now, too. We were going down, now we're up above 35,000. It hasn't been that high for the last 8 or 9 years. And as the economy gets better and we're seeing more freight on the roads, that's not going to stop unless we do something about the infrastructure and how to make it safe for all the users on our highways.
We have had for years the debate. We now have to mobilize communities and states around a comprehensive national solution that can't be an all eggs in one basket funding source. We're evolving to a different way, a different method of raising revenue for the trust fund, which has a quarter of a century of confidence that the business community needs to understand. That fund has not been used for anything but highway and transit for over 23 years.
Right.
So we have a fund, it's protected, it's insulated, it has firewalls, and I think we ought to be able to generate enough of a sense of confidence for business to look at a broader policy of taxation to rebuild American infrastructure. It's essential.
What we have to do as a business is decide where are our priorities, what really matters to us. And one of the reasons that we're here today, I think, is because our president and CEO is passionate about this sort of thing and has decided, look, this matters in this country. We can't be in a defensive mode. We have to say we're part of the problem, and we need to be part of the solution. So if businesses will recognize that they're part of the problem and are willing to take responsibility for being part of the solution, then we can do our part to help fund the process and to get it moving forward.
The Transportation Trust Fund of the future is going to match the 21st century needs of transportation. Everything is changing. Technology is a game changer for safety. It's a game changer for mobility. It's still going to require massive investment in infrastructure. And we're going to need a transportation trust fund that has multiple sources of revenue populating it, not just a single solution. So we've got to tell that story, and what you've done with this film, it's a way to approach that task. We've got to tell the story in ways that the American people can relate to, and we've got to do it frequently, often, and in a multitude of venues.
We want all of you to be able to use this film as a tool. And yes, we are working very hard to get this on television so that the general public can see it, because we believe as Steve said, that they don't get it, and that we've got to light a freaking fire under people. And, because that's the only way Congress will ever give a hoot. Pardon to anyone from Congress currently here. So, let us know, please, talk to us, call us. Would you like us to bring this film to a group, to an organization, to a presentation, to a convention, to your backyard? Please, let us help you. Let this film be a tool for you so that we can start that fire, because we need to start it now, and we need to blow it up.